Alright, class, settle down, settle down, settle down! Thank you. Okay everyone, in today's lesson we're going to be taking a look at the history of Greek mythology. And no, Liam, we are not looking at the size of Kratos' penis. Good. Alright, so can you guys take out your textbooks, please? I'd like you all to turn to page 127, where the title should read The History of Therianthropy and Theocephaly. Oh my god, did he just say Therians? I love Therians. I see this on TikTok all the time. I'm such a Therian. I even have my gear at home and I do quads. I know everything about Therians. Yeah, can you stop talking to me? Now, before we learn the definition, does anyone have any guesses as to what Therianthropy could possibly be? Oh, teacher, I know everything about Therians because I am literally a Therian. Teacher, can I move? Isabel, that's very nice, but that's literally not possible. Okay, fine. Alright, moving on. We're now going to move to chapter 13 on page 127. Okay, let's see here. Therianthropy refers to the fantastical or mythological ability of some humans to change into animals. Therianthropes are said to change forms via shapeshifting. Therianthropy has long existed in mythological... Isabel? Isabel, what the fuck are you doing? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, itchy and scratchy. Welcome back to the channel. Or if this just so happens to be your first time here, then, you know, it would be nice if you did press that subscribe button. And if that wasn't convincing, then...
Deberías suscribirte al canal, quiero decir, el jugo de Murasaki hace excelentes videos.
You know that's not convincing anyone, right?
Oh yeah, right. But anyways, Therian. And yes, I know we've been here before. If you guys didn't know, I've already previously made 2 Therian videos. The first one is where I basically just say that Therians are fucking cringe, and the second one is where I react to Therians getting mad that I called them fucking cringe. And honestly, it was funny as fuck. And it also gives you much needed added context for this video right here. But if you're too lazy to do all that, or if you just don't want to click off this video, then I'll play one single Therian clip and it will almost perfectly capture everything this community is about. And fair warning, okay, sorry about this, right? Sorry, but it has to be seen. Yes, that is a barefooted human being running on all fours like an animal. In a muddy pond, no less. I don't think anything can surprise me anymore. But yeah, Therians doing weird shit. What else is new? We've been over this many times. And at this point, I don't even feel like I need to say anything anymore. I'd like to think that most people on the planet can look at this video and see that, yeah, this is fucking strange. Doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. But the thing about this community of people is that they're so fucking brain rot in delusion that they will cling to every single possible argument to make it seem like what they're doing isn't fucking weird. And when this is what you're defending, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. And they come up with some pretty crazy shit, like being spiritually connected to animals and being an animal in their past life. And some just straight up say it's not even their choice. It's in their biology. It's in their nature to be Therian. And even more fucking crazy arguments. So you know what? I'll bite. I know I said at the end of the Therians Attacked Me video that I'm gonna do a part 2 on that, but that feels like a kind of boring and repetitive way to finish off this trilogy. So instead of me just sitting here and reading out some silly comments, I'm gonna go through every single possible Therian argument and explain, using facts and logic, why it just doesn't make any sense. Now, I think Therians are a pretty easy group to make fun of. I mean, just look at them. I wouldn't say this is an action to be proud of. But since everyone's a crybaby now on the internet, it's now become crucial that you know what they're doing before you make fun of them. Even though this feels like quite a low-hanging fruit, you look ridiculous. But before we make fun of anyone, let's first understand what Therians are. What is a Therian? I mean, at first glance, it looks pretty obvious. Someone who's, not all there upstairs in the head, but maybe I just don't understand. Maybe I need to do my research. And what better place to do reliable, faithful, and highly educational research other than TikTok? Because TikTok has never spread misinformation. I mean, it's TikTok. They're really reliable. They don't lie on there, okay? Everything they say on there is facts. I mean, come on, it's TikTok. We should trust them, guys. So let's ask TikTok, what is a Therian?
So what exactly is a Therian? How I like to define it is a Therian is someone whose internal sense of self, so who you are as a person on the inside, is an animal.
Yeah. You're insane. I know this guy is probably cooking up some more bullshit, but how the fuck can you be an animal on the inside? That just doesn't make any sense. How do you know what the insides of an animal are supposed to feel like? Oh, God, I feel like the more I try and think about this, the less it will make sense.
So whereas for a typical person, usually their internal sense of self looks and presents exactly how they physically are, this is not the case for Therians. So Therians' internal sense of self and identity of who they are is an animal.
What? So it's basically your identity. You identify as an animal. Yeah, you lot have lost it, man.
Therians can have more than one stereotype. And a stereotype is the term for what your animal is. So mine is a wolf, and some people can have more than one. I don't have more than one, but there is no upper limit to how many stereotypes a person can have.
How is this not roleplay? Genuine question. Using that exact definition, using what he just said, that is roleplay. It's not spiritual, it's not fucking past life, that's roleplay. Oh, you can have multiple stereotypes. Do you not hear yourself? That doesn't make any fucking sense. If you really did have the soul of a wolf, then how the fuck would you also have the soul of a cat? I feel like I'm losing it.
Do Therians believe we are animals? No, we don't. We know we're human, we are human. The only thing is, our internal sense of self is not. So, we understand we're human. And we do human things.
So then why on God's green earth do people do this? If you know you're human, and you know for a fact that you're not a fucking animal, then why the hell do you run around like a twat? I'm serious when I say this. I feel like the internet is genuinely degrading our human thought process. I mean, just look at this. We have people role-playing as animals and genuinely believing that their internal self is an animal. Here we have a fully grown man thinking he's a wolf on the inside. Jesus Christ, we are not lasting another 20 years with the internet. You know what? No, make that 10 years.
What is a Therian? In depth, Therians are people who non-physically identify as creatures that exist or have once existed. This trait is almost always not chosen.
How is this not chosen? You literally make the masks yourself.
Some Therians theorize their Therian identity have occurred to connect to spiritual or psychological happenings. Examples of these can be one who believes their brain wiring is incorrect, afflicting them with thought patterns of a different creature.
Yeah, there's something wrong with these people. They believe their brain wiring is incorrect, which causes them to act like different creatures. You know what? From the looks of them, they're probably right. Something is deeply wrong here.
Or one who believes they were a creature in a past life, and those past experiences affect them. They relate to their past life more.
I feel like I don't even need to explain this past life horsewank anymore. You were not a cat in a past life, okay? You just weren't. I'm not even gonna go into detail on that one. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that that is a fucking lie. And even if you was an animal in a past life, you're a human now. So maybe try acting like one instead of doing whatever this is.
Some Therians do not find a need to seek reason in how they are. Some do not feel related to any reason at all. No Therian needs to explain their identity.
Actually, I feel like I have this one. Some Therians may not feel the need to seek a reason, mainly because there isn't one. There is next to no justifiable explanation for this. Some may feel like there isn't a reason at all. Yeah, because there isn't. You can throw that past life psychological bullshit in the bin, because no one's believing that cope. You're just a bored fucker who spent way too much time on the internet. You're not a dog. And you say you know that, but then why the hell do you act like one? I mean, seriously? Intrusive self? Come on. Just for 1 second. Forget that you're a Therian, just for 1 second, and try and look at this from an objective standpoint. Your internal sense of self is an animal.
Therianthropy is a real, serious, and personal part of others' lives.
Then why would you post it online, dipshit? If it's so sacred and secret, then why would you post it to the public? Do you not feel embarrassed? And no, okay, having a soul of a dog is not real.
Therians come in all shapes and sizes, all genders and abilities.
Gonna be honest here, I find it hard to believe that someone who is morbidly obese is gonna identify as a jaguar. Just saying.
Therianthropy is not a game, nor roleplay.
Well, it is. You dress up and act, that is the definition of roleplay.
Therians are aware of their humanity as well. They know they are physically a human. Every Therian thinks and considers themselves differently. Asking if they think they are an animal is a vague question considering the depth of this identity.
Right. So, asking someone if they think they're an animal, a closed yes or no question, is vague. There is no depth in your identity. You're just acting like an animal on the internet. That's it. It's a choice. It's something you choose to do. And with what you've chosen to do, you look fucking stupid. Now, these definitions are all over the place and explain almost nothing. Because on one hand, this guy says, oh, it's an internal sense of self. We know we're human. And on the other hand, it's a brain wiring thing. Wait, oh no, it's a past life thing. And actually, no, there is no reason. It's just a thing that happens and you can't control it. You can't choose it. You just become a Therian. And here comes this wanker saying that you're born with it. Yes, you are born a Therian. You're 8 months old and you believe that you're a cat. Whilst your brain's not even fully developed yet, you've already got a sense of identity. And it's that you're not even human. Fucking hell. Every time I look at a definition that explains the modern day Therian shit, it's always a different definition every single time. Even if you go into my comments now, there's probably some Therians down there saying this right here, this is the base definition. And then there's another Therian saying something completely different. Because it becomes an identity, then spiritual, then psychological, or sometimes it's just a hobby, to which you choose your hobbies, by the way. But the reason why there isn't one singular definition is because this isn't a thing. This isn't fucking real. Your inner intrusive self isn't a wolf, you dumbass. Oh, but Therianthropy is different for everyone. Yeah, well, for me, Therianthropy is fucking weird. But without fail, every single time someone tries to defend this, it's always a "we didn't choose this life" category. And with that, you can fuck off, mate. So you didn't choose to put on a mask and a tail and find a location where no one else is around, set up a camera, run on all fours in that specific frame of the camera and edit it and post it online? Yeah, that's totally out of your control. And definitely something an animal would do. Seriously, if your idea of shifts and having the mind of an animal was actually a thing, then surely you would do more than just run on all fours. I mean, dogs shit in public and steal food. Unless you still have the common knowledge of a human. To which, if you did have that common knowledge, then surely you would know that it's not practical to run on all fours with a human vertebrate. This is terrible for your spine. But oh no, we can't make fun of them for it because it's out of their control. They just can't control it. They didn't choose this life. This life chose them. There's an animal inside them, okay? They're human on the outside, but there's an animal inside, okay? They can't control that. So guys, let's be respectful to their spiritual and psychological identity, okay? It's something they can't control. So anyways, on a completely unrelated note, RCTA. Probably one of the biggest cases of undiagnosed mental illness. For the lucky few who don't know what this is, RCTA basically stands for race change to another, to which is pretty self-explanatory and is also a real thing. People on TikTok who genuinely believe that they were born the wrong race and decide to change it, with their main argument being that they resonate with a different culture, so they decide to change to said culture. I can't express my disbelief. And it's just really weird. Some of it borderline racist. I mean, just fucking look at some of this shit. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. I mean, resonating with a culture is one thing, but getting surgical replacements and blackface is a bit extreme. You can do whatever you want to fit more into your RCTA self, but at the end of the day, you can't change your race, okay? I'm sorry. I don't care about your internal sense of self. I don't care what resonates with you. You can't just put some makeup on and magically change your race. In fact, you can't do anything to change your race. It's your basic biology. You can't change that. And similar to how your inner true self can't be a different race, your inner true self can't be a fucking animal, you dickhead. Never in my life did I ever think I'd have to explain that. Long shot comparison, I know, but same levels of delusion. Most people on the planet can see that RCTA is fucking insane, even Therians. Yet, they'll still do all this fuckery. No, you're not Korean, and no, you are not a wolf. And Therians love to say, oh, we know we're humans, we know we're not animals. Then what the fuck are you doing? My god, do you feel no shame? It's clear as day that no one in this community knows what the fuck they're doing. They're just role-playing as dogs. I'm pretty sure no one here even knows what a Therian is. But I don't blame them because there's no fucking definition. Well, actually, it could be a spiritual thing and a psychological thing, or maybe it's just an identity, and just shut the fuck up, man. Therians aren't real. Being a Therian is not a real thing. It's just some bullshit that they found on YouTube Shorts. If Therians were a real thing, then they would exist beyond the internet. If past life animals were a real thing, then we would have seen this throughout all of time. But no, it's only since the rise of TikTok that we get to see the Therian community. Unfortunately. Wait, no. Therians have existed since the 1900s. And you know what? To anyone who said that on the original video, I commend you. Because at least you did some form of basic research. Even though it wasn't very good, it's better than nothing, I guess. Apart from this guy who thinks that Therians existed 170 million years ago, which was during the Jurassic period and long before any human was around. Also, they sent this link which is supposed to defend their Therian arguments, but it has nothing to do with Therians, and is a Wikipedia page about the animal Theria. You fucking idiot. Did you even bother to click on the link, let alone read it? How are you gonna use something as source when you didn't even open it? But fine, since everyone is so incapable of doing research nowadays, allow me to do the job. Class is now in session. Therianthropy. No, not that shit. The real Therianthropy. Therianthropy has actually been around for a long time, dating all the way back to the early 1900s in Europe. The term Therianthropy comes from the Greek word therion, meaning wild animal or beast, and anthropos, meaning human being. It was used to refer to an animal transformation folklore from Europe. In other words, it basically means animal shapeshifting, a word used by many old English literatures in their works of fiction, whenever talking about a human and animal transformation. But a key word there is fiction. These were nothing but just stories. There weren't people actually out there turning into fucking werewolves. I don't feel like it takes a genius to figure that one out. Shapeshifting in folklore and mythology generally refers to alternation of physical appearance. Kinda like Beast Boy from Teen Titans. I feel like I've already said that before. The transformation of human to werewolf is probably the best known kind of Therianthropy, but there were also others like man to dog and man to cat and all that shit. The term existed by at least 1901, when it was implemented through stories from China about humans turning into dogs, and also dogs turning into people and sexual relations between humans and canines. Okay, China, thanks for that, mate. I think I'm just gonna ignore that last part. Now, I don't know if you guys learned this in school or not, but folklore is not real. Another word for folklore is fairy tales or fictional stories. In the simplest words possible, Therianthropy originates from fiction. Therians come from fairy tales. But teacher, I'm a Therian. No, Isabel, no you're not, okay? You're not. I don't know where the hell these guys from TikTok got that fucking spiritual shit. I mean, the word Therian literally comes from ancient Greece, and those guys were known for making up all kinds of junk. That's why it's called Greek mythology. Because it was a myth. These guys love to preach to me about not doing research, but did any of you even look up what Therian means? And I'm talking about actual research here, not just from WikiHow, because any old wanker could write anything on there. I could literally go on there and write that Therian means having a massive schlonga. Would that automatically become the new definition? And I'm guessing probably not. But all jokes aside, the definition of Therian on WikiHow literally has the word TikTok in it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a very reliable source. Maybe if you spent less time rotting your brain on TikTok, then you would know that this isn't a real thing. So for any Therian who is in doubt of what I'm saying right now, I will leave a link in the description of the definition of Therianthropy, just so you lot can know what you're actually doing. This has nothing to do with your sense of self. This is roleplay. So is any Therian gonna go reply to that? No? Oh, okay. It really is one ear out the other with this community. Fuck me.
Hit it once, kick that bitch to the curb, yeah, to the curb, kick that bitch to the curb.
Quadrobics. No. Okay. No. Quadrobics is not a sport. I don't know who told you it was, but they were lying. Oh, but yes it is, because I do quadrobics. It's a sport. Shut up. Shut up. How the fuck is running on all fours like a wild animal a sport? How is this a sport? Now, I'll admit it does look quite physically demanding, but that doesn't make it a sport. I mean, having a wank while doing a handstand is pretty physically demanding, but I wouldn't call that a sport now, would I? Just because it makes you a little bit tired doesn't mean that it should be in the same category as all of these. It's just not the same thing. And to say otherwise is just ridiculous. So since you claim it's a sport, let me ask you, what is a sport? Now, most people to that would have said a form of physical activity which takes skill and has a form of competition, because that's exactly what a sport is. An activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against one another. But with this, do I even need to say anything? There is no way that you're in any form of right state of mind if you actually think that this is a sport. This isn't competitive, there is no competition here, you're just running around like a retard. There's no professional quadrobics, there's no Olympic quadrobic league, it's just a weird hobby that you idiots have. And I'm gonna be honest, it's probably not doing you any good either. Your wrists, your Achilles, your spine are all in very unnatural positions. If you want to get fit, then just do some light jogging, standing upright, like a human, which you are. And to the person who said that Therians are faster than me on 2 feet, for me personally, I've been training and competing within track and field for around 8 years now. I can promise you with certainty, they are not. But in all that time, I don't think I've ever seen anyone at any track meet do whatever this is. Why? Because it's just not very practical. That's why. Travel is faster on 2 legs. That's just basic evolution. And the only reason why animals travel like this is because they don't have 2 legs. They have 4, which you don't. You have 2 legs. Stand up normally. Fucking idiot. And for some reason, I don't know why all these Therians love to claim this, but it's their favorite go-to point. They'll always claim that Quadrobics has nothing to do with Therians and is purely just an individual sport, which obviously is not. So you're trying to tell me that this sport has nothing to do with Therians? Really? So, anyone else buying that shit? If that was really the case, then how comes every single Quadrobics video is a Therian video? Even if you Google Quadrobics, it will automatically be linked back to Therian. Every single time. Even in Quadrobic tutorial videos, it's a Therian teaching it. I don't know how you can claim that this is completely unrelated. I dare you to find even one Quadrobics video completely unrelated to Therians. Apart from this guy who holds the world record for the fastest 100 meters quadrobics, for which he got 15 seconds, which is nice, but he wouldn't stand a chance even in a children's league. I'm just saying, Therians, it's not very competitive. But even for him, if you Google his name, Kenichi Ito, in interviews he has stated multiple times that he wants to be thought of as a monkey. Not sure how I feel about that one. But I feel like this guy's 2 Therian videos away from putting a mask on. He's not too far off this community. But don't lie to yourselves. This isn't a sport. This is roleplay. I don't know how many times I need to say it before it drills into your head. This isn't spiritual. This isn't psychological. This isn't sport. This is you being a weirdo. Find a new hobby. Jesus. Now this may come to a surprise to a lot of you, but I'm not the biggest fan of bullying. I know, me. The biggest hater on the internet doesn't like bullying. Because for me, I feel like a lot of bullying, especially in high school, comes out of intrinsic values that you can't control. Whether it's someone's height or disability or just physical appearance in general. I feel like that's just kind of harsh, man. Unless they start acting silly on the internet, then they're kind of asking for it. But overall, I don't think that bullying is a good thing to things that people can't control. But the key word there is control. You can control your weight, you can control how you dress, and most importantly, you can control how you act, you fucking dipshit. Being bullied on the way you act is a reflection on you and not a reflection on others. It's your doing as to why this is happening to you. It is completely within your control. If I go outside dressed up as Goku with a fucking Nezuko body pillow running around like Naruto, everyone has every right to make fun of me because I know exactly what I'm doing. And I would look like a maniac. And this is coming from someone who actually likes cosplays. Like, I don't mind cosplay. It's just I'd rather you not act like an absolute psycho while you're dressed up as one of my favorite characters. But a large majority of the time, people will make fun of you because your actions. Your actions are what cause you to get made fun of. And I'm sorry, mate, but if you act like a fucking dog, people are going to make fun of you. Just look at yourself. Please, objectively look at yourself. You look ridiculous, man. Normal people don't do this. This has never been a normal thing. It just doesn't happen. So when you do this, especially if you do it in public, people are going to make fun of you. Even you Therians would make fun of any other fandom if they did any of their weird shit in public. Therians love to cry and whine when it comes to people making fun of their community, but when it's any other community, they are the first to make fun of them. You know how many comments I got saying, oh, you can't make fun of Therians, you watch anime, or you're an anime watcher? Which is a stupid as shit comparison because I'm a passive consumer and you are an active weirdo. But even if that was the case, and even if I was an anime freak, that still wouldn't make you any better. You would still be fucking weird for this. If anything, that's hypocritical as fuck, because you can't turn to this and slander it, then take a look at this and say it's perfectly fine. At least weird anime fans know that anime is not real. You actually think you're a dog in the head. In my opinion, that's just a bit worse. You can make fun of what games I play, you can make fun of what shows I watch, you can make fun of my accent all you want. It's not gonna turn us away from the fact that you act like an animal on the internet. I know you look stupid, everyone else knows you look stupid, and I feel like even you, deep down in your soul, you know that you look fucking stupid. And if you even dare try and call them out on this, they'll get so crybaby and bum hurt that their little persona of a nice peaceful community that doesn't want to hurt anyone completely crumbles. I mean, these people are not nice. I'm not saying that I'm nice by any means, nor do I deserve kindness from these people, but you can't say that your community doesn't bother anyone when there are Therians out there barking and howling at people in public, sometimes even running in the fucking road. Yet when you call them out on this, they'll play the fastest victim card. And by the way, you can't complain about getting death threats if you're also sending out death threats. I've never once in any of my videos expressed any form of violence to this community, and yet they can definitely not say the same. Some Therian even said that I should come visit Romania and see what happens. No, mate. No, I don't think I will. Not because I'm scared or anything, but just because I'd rather not know what a Romanian Therian looks like. I didn't even know they had them out there. And to be honest, I didn't even know they existed outside of the US. But even worse than that, a while ago I got a DM on Discord from someone with the Therian logo in their name. So yeah, that should have been red flag number 1. But essentially they said they're gonna bite me. They called me a bloody little shit. They called my channel pathetic and said that no one cares about it. Apparently it's impossible to be dumber than me. I'm cringe, I'm a dirty killer, I'm gonna burn in hell, they're gonna devour me alive. Then they proceed to say that they don't care about what I have to say, to which, if they didn't care, then why would they send the message? I'll leave it on the screen for you to read, it's kinda long, but as you can clearly see, this is someone who definitely cares. And at the end of it all, they say, when you see a Therian, better start running. Ah yes, this community wishes to harm no one. Usually I don't really care about hate DMs because it doesn't affect my day-to-day life. But I'm using this as an example to show you that this is probably one of the craziest communities on the internet. Not only because they think they're animals, but because of these kinds of reactions. This person just threatened to eat me alive because I called Therians cringe. Do you see why we make fun of you now? Not only is your overall behavior just very odd, but the way you act when people call you out on it isn't doing you any favors. So long story short, Why do Therians get bullied? Because you look like idiots and you act like psychos when someone doesn't agree with your ridiculous ideology. That's why. Watching people who are far past the age of playing pretend roleplay as a cat is really uncomfortable to look at. You can insult me as much as you want, it is not gonna change that fact.
If they shoot at us, we gon' pop back. Get back in tough, need to stop that. I'm already done, can have your thought back.
So then, after all that, after saying all of that, why do I even care? They're not bothering me, so why do I care? Why don't I just let people be themselves? I mean, I'm an advocate for that, right? People should have their own individual interests, and not everyone has to be the same. Yes, this is all true. I think everyone should have the freedom and luxury to do what they enjoy. You should be allowed to be yourself, but by yourself. I don't want to see this, and I doubt anyone else does either. If you're gonna go ahead and do weird shit, then at least keep it to yourself. I think my mental health is reaching its limits with this one. Do I need to break this down for the 102nd time? Let me just say it again for old time's sake. Well, not for old time's sake, because I said it in the last fucking Therian video I did. When you post something on the internet, you are allowing everyone to see it. And by everyone, I mean the entire planet. Everyone on the planet can see what you post. Whether they're a fan of it or not, they're still able to view it. And given that, it means that everyone on the planet can say what they want about it. That includes good things and bad things. And I just so happen to be on the bad side. And if you want a reason why, then you must have had your ears closed for the past half an hour. This is cringe. And your reasons for doing this aren't valid at all. You can't be spiritually binded to an animal. That's just not possible. And having a spirit animal isn't an excuse to go out and act like one. And no. You weren't a wolf in a past life. You just weren't. And even if you was, how would you even begin to know that? But for argument's sake, let's just say that you somehow magically got to log into an old save file and see that you was a cat. That was in a past life. Past tense, meaning that you're currently human. So then why the fuck are you currently acting like an animal? And for everyone who claims that no, it's none of that and they just non-physically identify as an animal, I'll tell you right now, non-physically identifying as something is a choice, which means you choose to do this. In other words, that's called roleplay. If you're gonna do all this stuff, then at least say it how it is. Your hobby is that you like to roleplay. You're not spiritual, you're not past life connected, none of that shit. You like to play pretend, and that's it. And for that, you're fucking weird. And I'll say this now, I don't fucking care that you do this. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not losing sleep because you like to roleplay, man. It's just that you're doing weird shit on the internet and I find it funny to make fun of weird shit. And it's hard to deny that this doesn't qualify for the weird shit category. Once again, I can't express this enough. If you don't want people to make fun of you for it, then don't post it. Or if you are gonna post it, then at least private it or send it to like a little Therian community. That way no unwanted attention can be said about it and I won't have the misfortune of seeing this anymore. There you go. I just solved cyberbullying in less than 30 seconds. But if you are gonna post it publicly and if you are gonna go out there and do this in public, then people are gonna say some pretty not nice things. That's me, by the way. I'm people. I understand that you're a teenager and you got bored and you didn't know what to do with your personality. So you scroll on TikTok and you find this little community. But allow me to be a somewhat reasonable voice in your life. This is not it. When you get older, you will deeply regret this, I promise you. But that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anything else I need to expose before this video ends? Are Therians furries? Honestly, no. Never thought I'd say this, but these lot actually make furries look somewhat sane. Because furries know that they're cringe. Furries know that what they're doing isn't real. Therians don't have the same intellect. These sides are both dark, but I'd say one is much darker. But anyways, guys, this is in fact the end of the video, and if you liked, please leave a like, and if you didn't, then feel free to degrade me in the comments. And if you made it this far into the end of the video and you aren't subscribed, holy fuck, it's been like 30 minutes. You watched me talk for 30 minutes straight and didn't even think about subscribing? That hurts, man. But oh well, I can't physically force you. But if not, then you can always check out my other videos. But with all that said, all my links and socials are in the description. Feel free to follow me on anything. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. It was a long haul making this one. But until next time, make sure to drink your water and get enough sleep at night. Okay, goodbye.
No, I gotta keep my fire on, fire on, fire on, fire on. Yeah, my whip, I'm flying. That girl on my left, that bitch on my right on. Damn, your heels, they so high, yeah, get your height on.